Services Conference started.
Elon Musk, Batman, horses. Those of you that love a good cryptic crossword are probably wondering, what is the thread that connects these images? Don't waste your brain power. The context is very obscure and comes from deep within my imagination. Let me explain. These three images are directly related to the themes of our conference. For me, they are the core defined. You see Elon Musk, humanly conscious, Batman, functionally agnostic, and horses, empowered by design. So what do we mean by these three images? Let's start with Elon Musk. He's synonymous with Mars exploration, electronic cars that will soon have no drivers, robotics, engineering. You might think he takes the human out of the equation. Well, in fact, as we'll hear from Elon later, he is very humanly conscious. For him, the future is about people. He is the epitome of consciously human. Batman. Isn't it cool we got Batman in shared services? So for me, Batman is functionally agnostic. Regardless of the crime or the challenge, all he cares about is saving Gotham and its residents. He is functionally agnostic, like we are. And then horses. When Henry Ford was asked how he developed the Model T car without any market research, he simply said, if I ask them what they want, they will tell me faster horses. Instead, he designed a 20-horsepower car and a new method of production, the assembly line. And through this, we were able to get more cars, affordable, reliable. So this simple design enabled a completely different way of transportation. For me, this is empowered by design. So, Elon Musk, humanly conscious, Batman, functionally agnostic, and horses, or as we now know them, cars, empowered by the design. These are the three tenets of the core. And what do we mean by the core? The core is a transformation engine of the organization. It is, as we now call it, the center office. There's something else that these three images also invoke. It's the brand image. And I want you to really think about this over the next 2 days. The brand of Batman, Dark Knight, superhero. Elon Musk, innovative, space leader. Henry Ford, reliable, trustworthy, family car. What is your brand? When people look at your shared services or think about your shared services, what feeling does that invoke? Now, more about that later. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Candice Sieg, and I'll be your host over the next 2 days. Welcome to Deloitte's Shared Services Conference 2022. Can you believe this is our 25th year, 25 years of Shared Services Conference? Just incredible. Welcome to all of you here today, to all our viewers at home, to our sponsors, and a special mention to our guests that have joined us from Ukraine. Thank you very much for being here, making it today. This is going to be an event like no other. We have fantastic speakers, the networking is going to be incredible, and of course, our top sponsors. So please make sure you do visit our sponsors through the breaks. Right, without further ado, I would like to introduce our wonderful Portuguese host, Nelson Fontainhas. Nelson, please come up.
Well, thanks, Candice. Thank you. Muito bom dia. Bem-vindos a todos. Good morning and welcome, everybody. As the GBS practice leader in Deloitte Portugal, it's an honor to welcome you all to this year's conference. The best shared services event is back on a physical and in-person format, so I'm very excited. And it's also back to my beloved country, Portugal. Portugal, a history, culture, and sunshine-rich country, but also one of the most peaceful, inclusive, and green energy-prone countries in the world. Portugal is also vibrant in shared services, with lots of success stories, like probably you had the chance to know in yesterday's visits, or will have the chance to know throughout this year's event. And as probably you noticed, in the Portuguese food and cuisine, there is no secret sauce. The key to the success is the quality of the ingredients. Leading organizations, a service-oriented culture, and most important of all, talented people. So let me finish by sharing with you 3 facts about this beautiful city of Lisbon that may inspire you throughout the conference or just have you curious to further visit the city. First one is about knowledge sharing. So Lisbon has the oldest bookstore in the world still operating. It dates back to almost 300 years ago. The second one is about connecting people. We have the longest bridge in Europe. You can see a lovely bridge just outside the door, but upriver, where it widens, we have the bridge Vasco da Gama, which extends to more than 17 kilometers long. And talking about Vasco da Gama, and to finish on the last topic, something to share with you about exploring new ways into the future. So the place where we sit today is actually really close to the harbors that were key back in the 16th century when the Portuguese sailed across the world, finding new continents, people, and trade routes. So I hope you are excited as I am to this year's conference topics, and also hope that you have the chance to connect, share, and learn with each other. Have a wonderful conference.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you very much, Nelson. Thank you. I got to say, I love Portugal. What's not to love? People, food, climate, beaches, wine. Thanks so much, Nelson, for hosting us in this beautiful city. And I can say, I have recently set up 2 centres, one in Lisbon and one in Porto, and the experience has been phenomenal, the talent's phenomenal. So a bit of a shout out to Invest Portugal out there, one of our key sponsors. Right, we have our sponsor slide next, I think. There we go. So yes, these are our sponsors out there today. Like I said earlier, please do visit them in the breaks, get to know them. They have done a fantastic job, and without them, this conference wouldn't be possible. Right. Now, what we have back this year, for the second time, is our studio. So last year, we introduced the studio to our hybrid event. This is the connectivity to our virtual audience, and I'm delighted to have our very own Sarah Wyman as the studio host. Sarah, are you there?
Yes, hi Candice. Batman, horses, and Elon Musk. Now that's a way to open the conference. Hello all, I am Sarah Wyman, part of the Deloitte GBS team, and I will be your studio host for the next day and a half. Having worked on the conference for the last 3 years, I can confidently say that we have an exceptional lineup of speakers. Up here in the studio, we are all about sharing key insights, capturing highlights, and connectivity between people online and those of you in the room. Throughout the event, we want to hear from you, so if you have a comment or a question, send it in via the QR code that will pop up at the end of each plenary session. Here in the studio, I'll be joined by a number of GBS experts to analyze and provide commentary on what speakers have been saying. And we will even have some of the keynote speakers themselves joining us up here for an all-exclusive exposé. The content today will also be made available after the event on demand, so you can catch up on sessions you've missed or rewatch those you found interesting. While I'm pleased to be this year's studio host, part of me missed the hustle and bustle that happens backstage, so I went and visited the crew yesterday. Let's take a look. So we're down here by the main plenary stage, and behind this black curtain sits our crew. Come and take a look. So over here we have Leia, who is in charge of our auto queue. That means if speakers ever stumble on their lines, they've got a bit of a safety net. Over here we have our content feed, all the presentations you see today, as well as the QR code, which allows us to poll and do Q&A, happens on these screens. And then last but not least, our virtual streaming service happens over here, which means those of you online can join us in Lisbon for the event. And so you can see this operation is like a swan, smooth on the outside, but under the surface, everyone is paddling like mad. That's it for now. Back to you, Candice.
Fantastic, thanks Sarah, and we look forward to hearing it throughout the day. Right, so where was I? Now, as I was saying, Elon Musk.
Candice.
What, Sarah? Everyone wants to hear about Elon.
I'm really sorry, but I know what an absolute stickler you are for the facts. Henry Ford actually never said that about faster horses.
What?
Well, don't worry. What he actually said was the secret of success is the ability to understand the other person's point of view, which is still on message.
Well, that is the theme. That is empowered by design. It's listening to people, really understanding what they want, and then ensuring that you put that into practice.
Well, how about we put our audience's listening and understanding to the test and play 2 truths and a lie?
Oh, I love that game. But this is a shared services conference, so I think we should rebrand it the Consciously Human game. Right, folks, this is your turn to get involved. What you've got to do is pair up with somebody. Please don't be shy. Think of this as the start of the networking. Introduce yourselves, and then give each other 3 statements, 2 of which are true, 1 maybe not so true, and you've got 2 minutes. Please, go for it. To our virtual audience out there, please bear with us. And if you are in a viewing party, please ensure that you do this in your viewing parties. There's such buzz going on right now. Right. It's my turn to pick on a member of the audience to see what you learned. Hopefully you all had... We're back. Hopefully you all had a bit of fun doing that. Well, Bhavna, since you're sitting there, do you want to share with us what you learned from Kalyani?
Thank you. Sure. So the first one, apologies, is that Kalyani, before joining GBS, Kalyani owned a very successful restaurant, live music, and also a bar, so it sounds like a great place to go. The second one is that she is a certified yoga instructor. And the third is in her spare time. She makes potions, lotions, balms, salves, etc. Okay. And did you guess the right one? I guessed, yes. I got it wrong, to be honest. Do I need to admit which one is the... Yeah, come on. Okay, so she's not a certified yoga instructor. It was Guatemala, no. So I did know about the restaurant. Great. Right, well, that was just a bit of an icebreaker, and I hope you enjoyed the game, but yes, there is a relevance to our theme. So, going back to Elon Musk. Seriously? What now, Sarah?
Your two truths and a lie. I'm sure the audience are keen to find out.
I'm not so sure. Okay. 1, I've got a Batman tattoo. 2, I recently cancelled a meeting with Elon Musk because I was too busy. 3, I nurtured an orphaned penguin when I was growing up in South Africa. Right, who thinks it's number 1? Number 2? And number 3. Very interesting. You know what? I think I'll save that surprise for after lunch. Right. So let's get back to the centre office now. And first of all, I'm just going to play a small clip from Elon Musk.
This may sound corny.
It does sound corny,
but love is the answer.
it is the answer.
Great.
Saturn.
I'm pro-human.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
I love humanity. I think it's great.
We're glad, as a robot, that you love humans, because we love you too, and we.
Wouldn't hurt to have more love in the world.
Well, there we go. And I think as we talk about the centre office now, and particularly experience, this will already resonate about putting the human back into the equation and why this is so important in our human-centric shared service operations. So the centre office is a concept that's been evolving for a couple of years now, and it's based on at least 20 years of learning about shared services and what really matters to the organisation. This doesn't replace GBS or shared services, it's simply the evolution of the model. And when you put these tenets together, by default you have a fantastic North Star in which to aim towards. Nobody ever gets there. There is no perfect shared services or model. But if you have these tenets in mind, you at least will deliver a good service and your people will be happy. So talking about experience first. So, by putting experience at the beginning, it makes your customers feel heard. Your services are delivered in an impactful way. And you should be focusing on talent and brand. Brand is becoming more and more important, as we see in shared services, about how people feel when they interact with shared services. We are still, like I said earlier, a people-centric organization. Of course, automation and technology play a massive part in enabling efficient services. But people are the value add, and we mustn't forget about that. Invest in your talent. Listen to your customers. Give them a great experience. This moves on to the next tenet of the model, which is end-to-end services. For most of you, this is still your license to operate. So you need to ensure that your end-to-end services are still delivered consistently, efficiently. And when we talk end-to-end, we also mean the end-to-end journeys. So looking at this more functionally agnostic, as I spoke about earlier, do you really need a call center for IT, for HR, for finance? Could you not have one end-to-end experience for your customers? What about data analytics if you pull that across your functions? Source to pay, another classic example, hire to retire. I know many of you have heard these in the past, but still a lot of organizations are really struggling to see these functions as actually being a journey that your customers will want to go on. So then finally, capabilities as a service. So this is really broadening the impact and value proposition of GBS and shared services. If you think about when you create shared services organizations, when you evolve them, when you grow them, when you optimize them, you create capabilities like project management, transition management, change management. Imagine if you could offer those capabilities back to the business, and you can customize them based on what it is your business needs and wants. Automation, robotics, centers of excellence that host these. So that is the central office model. What is the impact of the central office? The impact of the central office means that you as a GBS leader can directly contribute to the objectives of the organization. You're aligned to the objectives of the organization, driving those business outcomes. You're adding value just beyond the transactional element. And of course, you're putting people and experience at the heart of what you do. So, I'm going to leave you with these three things. Think like Elon Musk. Remember, we need more love. Put people first. 2, problem solve like Batman. No matter the crime or challenge, save the day by being functionally agnostic. And 3, design like Henry Ford. When horses don't go fast enough, mix things up and design differently. Invent a car to get you the journey. Thank you very much.